In this video, I am speaking to a very rare collective of souls, and I am now setting the intention that this video transmission finds those who are ready to hear this message, because for this rare group of souls, this holds the key to unlocking your next level, which you've been ready for quite some time. You've been preparing for this level, and that's actually part of what makes it so complicating. Because you've been in the preparation phase for so long, you've hesitated when it comes to taking the next step, taking the leap of faith, taking the radical action, whatever that looks like for you personally. And of course, it's going to be different from person to person. But this video is going to reach those who have felt the pull in their soul. You have felt yourself being pushed in a certain direction. You've felt that it's time for you to take radical action in some way, to really buckle down and lock in on some kind of goal or plan or strategy, something that you're doing or creating or producing in the world. And yet a part of you has been questioning this because for so long, whenever you've tried to take strong action in certain directions, you felt sabotaged. This is because your training phase was not yet completed. And so for a while, you were being kept in a spiritual holding container where it seemed that no matter how hard you tried or struggled or worked or pushed in a certain direction, somehow, some way, you would always end up feeling blocked or even backsliding. But the universe wants you to know that those barricades, those obstacles have been lifted. You are no longer meant to be in this holding pattern because it's taught you everything that it has to teach you. This is why lately your intuition has been pushing you in such a strong way. This is why you've found yourself suddenly feeling a bit restless, whereas before it would feel more like a deep peace to surrender into the stillness. You now feel as though that stillness has become a charged, creative void that is pushing you to take your energy and infuse it into something. And I just keep getting the words radical action. So I feel that for some of you, this will be you really locking in and doing certain things that you've felt your intuition pushing you towards for quite some time. But again, I feel that there's been a part of you hesitating to take that leap. So I hope that this message reaches you and lets you know that it's safe to trust this new unfolding phase, and that the actions that in the past may have felt like they were getting you nowhere will bring different results in the present because your energy has shifted. Your energy has been upgraded. You are no longer in that so-called spiritual holding pattern. So these same actions that in the past may have felt fruitless, you may now find yourself inspired to. Don't be afraid to try again, to try applying some of those same actions that you did in the past, because I'm hearing the foundation is different. Your energetic and spiritual foundation is different. For some of you, this even may be literal. Maybe you, I'm hearing, have tools or resources at your disposal now, a kind of literal physical foundation that you did not have in the past. And you have tools or resources, either literally or emotionally, at your disposal that are going to leverage that action that you are taking or going to take in a powerful way so that you see massive results in certain directions that you felt incredibly blocked in the past. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the traditional tarot cards to pull through some messages for you tonight. But I also want to let you know that just last week, I created one of my all-time favorite subliminals that I've ever shared with you. And this subliminal is called Quantum Shift. This is one that's been in the works for a while. But essentially, listening to this is meant to work uniquely with your own soul's blueprint, your own desires, your own subconscious mind, to align you with your personal highest version of your own reality, the version of your life where you feel the most loved, the most successful, the happiest, the most fulfilled in all areas of your life. And again, it's meant to work specifically with your own desires, whatever those are for you, because I know all of our desires are different, but I created affirmations for this subliminal that are meant to work with your personal desires, even your needs, the things that you want to be fulfilled in, again, every area, love, your work, whatever that is for you, your general sense of well-being, all areas of your life. So this is a super powerful subliminal to shift you to an entirely new level, to align you with your personal highest timeline, whatever that looks like for you personally. And this subliminal comes from my app, Sound and Soulful. So within the app, I have over 130 subliminals for essentially every area of life, for love, relationships, money, business, appearance, and so many other things as well. And you can actually try out any subliminal I've created completely free for 7 days when you create a free trial account in the app. And when you do sign up, you can listen in 10 different background sound options, just depending on your preference. You can read the affirmations while you're listening, and you can create your own custom private playlists within the app as well. I personally love using subliminals every single day to shift my energy and magnetize myself for my desires. So I highly recommend them to everyone that I speak to and work with. So I will be leaving a link to download the app in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. And again, the name of the subliminal I specifically suggest for those of you connecting to this message is called Quantum Shift. So let's go ahead and get into the messages. Although I feel so many messages we're already channeling through, I just keep getting that Nike slogan, just do it. Like there's something that you've been contemplating for a while. And the thing about this is I never recommend action just for the sake of taking action, because that's what most of the world is doing. But I feel you've ascended so far above that, I don't even really need to say that to the collective I'm speaking to here. But the thing is, when the action is coming from a spiritually inspired place and it's action that you've been prepared for and that's in alignment with your soul purpose, your gifts, your blueprint, that action holds a tremendous amount of power. And if this reading is for you, I feel like you're at that point where you're being pushed to take certain actions that involve you using your gifts in some way or leveraging your time or your energy in some way to bring some kind of growth or result that you've been desiring. And you are going to see those desired results when you and as you take these inspired actions, is what I'm picking up on here. Yeah, I'm hearing push yourself out of paralysis. There may be a part of you feeling like a little mentally paralyzed when it comes to actually taking these actions. So I hope that this video can act as that positive push for you, that push for you to trust in yourself, to trust where you're being inspired, and to allow yourself to move in that direction in a bold and courageous way. Yeah, here we have the Page of Cups in the upright position. I also feel that as you begin taking these actions, you're going to be met with creative opportunities. These could be potential collaborations, powerful people wanting to offer you something to assist you along the way, doors opening in front of you. I'm hearing, don't worry how the doors will open, they just will. So that might be a little bit of a message for someone. There's a lot of Cancer energy coming through here. I'm not sure why. Yeah, we have the Queen of Pentacles. You are carrying such a royal energy right now. I also feel that you are someone who is incredibly generous with the people around you. I'm hearing your presence and your existence blesses your whole bloodline. So you may be someone who specifically is breaking generational curses or giving to your family in some kind of way, or just people around you generally. I feel like you have this very generous kind of spirit, both materially and in a more metaphysical sense, more of a spiritual sense as well. Yeah, and we have the Ten of Pentacles. This is your abundance timeline unfolding in front of you, but action is the key. trusting the process. Action with faith, I believe, is the wording I'm going to put in the title of this video. But action with faith is the key. In fact, if that is connecting for you, lock in that affirmation by commenting below. Action with faith is the key, because that will really solidify this connection in your own subconscious mind and help you to connect with that abundance timeline. I do see that I'm hearing secrecy. Maybe for some of you, it's important to keep these actions kind of on the down low, to not necessarily open up and tell everyone about what you are doing or why you are doing it. I'm hearing you will then be put in the role of explaining or justifying yourself to these people that you're sharing your plans with. And in that justifying of yourself, you will be leaking your own energy. So there is a message coming through about simply taking this action and letting the results speak for themselves, instead of telling other people what you're going to do or what you are doing or what your plans are, even people who are well-meaning, because somehow I feel like this leads to you feeling the need to explain or justify yourself, when in that justification, you're going to leak so much energy that it's actually going to take energy away from you actually taking those actions that you're feeling inspired to, if that makes sense. And I actually feel there may be opposing forces or conflict here as well, even in subtle ways, where there may be certain people who I'm hearing don't necessarily on a subconscious level want to see you taking all of this radical action to better your life or to move towards your goals, because subconsciously it threatens their reality or their notion of reality in some way, or even their notion of you. I feel like I'm speaking to a collective who's going through a massive identity shift right now, but it's not the transformation, the shift itself has already happened energetically. It's just beginning to catch up physically. And it's almost like you are helping with that physical catch-up process through this inspired action that you're taking in such a radical kind of way. But the identity shift has already happened behind the scenes. Other people are just going to start seeing it more, and more of those results of that identity shift are going to start showing up in your reality. But I feel like there are certain people who may be attached to your previous identity, to that past version of you, who almost are like subconsciously fighting this new identity that you are shifting into as the high priestess here. Yeah, as this powerful, confident, aligned being that you are, someone who's very intuitively guided as well. I somehow feel like you being in this energy is creating internal conflict for certain other people, but I'm hearing that's none of your business. I'm hearing that quote about how what other people think of me is none of my business, because I'm getting that if you spend energy or expend your energy or time wondering how people are reacting to you or what they're thinking about you, especially in this phase of your life, it's going to weaken your energy. And your energy has so much pulling power right now to manifest your desires when it is correctly directed. That's what I'm picking up here so strongly. But with the Strength card reversed, I feel that for some of you listening, there may be moments where after you open up or share with certain people, maybe after you tell people about your goals, your dreams, your ideas, you may suddenly begin to feel vulnerability or feel self-doubt in some kind of way. And what I'm getting is this is your spirit of discernment letting you know that these are individuals who are in some way, shape, or form feeling subconsciously threatened by this new identity that you are shifting into. Now, of course, this doesn't necessarily mean that their intentions are malicious or anything of that nature. It could just be that they themselves are struggling with finding their own power. And so when they see you in your power, it naturally mirrors back to them the ways in which they feel that they are failing or falling short. And I actually feel that that is the case for many of these who are feeling this sense of subconscious internal conflict around this shift taking place within you. But regardless, this is why your secrecy can actually be a very, very powerful tool to protect your energy. Now, of course, there are people that you are going to be able to open up to or are able to now open up to about your dreams, your goals, what actions you're taking. But I'm hearing the difference is with these individuals, when you open up to them, you will feel a boost in your energy afterwards. You will feel even more confident, even more clear-minded, even more motivated. In contrast, when you open up to someone who's struggling with their own subconscious internal conflict, you will feel more drained or feel self-doubt or feel like maybe I shouldn't take these actions. You'll begin to question yourself. And you'll wonder where all of that's coming from. It's you intuitively picking up on that other person's subconscious reaction to you. So share your goals and dreams and plans with those who genuinely boost and strengthen and uplift your energy. I don't know why that's coming up specifically. There's also something about not needing to make it a question of morality. So I feel that very often part of the conflict may be you may think to yourself, well, I love this person or this is a good person. And those things may very well be true. But then you may tell yourself, well, because I see them as a good person and I love and care about this person, I should share all of this information with them. But your intuition is telling you every time I open up or share my goals or my plans with them, I feel this drain on my energy. And I'm just hearing something about separating out in your mind this need to share your goals and dreams and plans with everyone that you love or care about or feel close to allow it to be okay that there are just different forms of connection in your life and that there may only be a rare number of people who can really genuinely support and enhance and strengthen your goals and dreams, especially at the level you are operating at, because most people on the planet are not at this level that you are at. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way, but I know that if this reading is for you, you wouldn't take it in an egotistical way regardless. But essentially, you've evolved to this point where your dreams have gotten really big. If I'm being honest, when I channel into your energy, I see these massive dreams and goals, like super expansive dreams. I feel that for some of you, and I don't know the specifics of this, you know for yourself, but I feel that for some of you, some of these goals or ideas you have would quite literally change the frequency of the entire planet, of the whole collective, if you were to put them into action. But there are so few people who are going to be able to fully relate to that and understand your work on that level. And that is okay, because that is their journey. That is their path to walk. And of course, that doesn't mean that you can't have a connection with them or a relationship with them or a loving bond with them. It just may mean that there are certain parts of yourself and your vision that have to be sacred, that have to be protected. And I feel like that's another major message coming through here, that for someone listening, you may have been giving away some of your sacred aspects of yourself to many people who may not have been able to really fully hold those parts of you. And you may have been met with this feeling of disappointment that they couldn't meet you in that way. But you have to understand that you are on planet Earth with a very rare, unique kind of soul mission and a very broad, expansive vision that most people are not going to be able to fully comprehend. And that is okay. Again, that is their journey, but it's important for you to protect those sacred parts of yourself and to keep pouring into them rather than draining your energy trying to explain or justify yourself to others who just may not be on that frequency. So I don't know who needed to hear that message. I feel this whole reading has really surprised me, but thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing your own beautiful light and energy here. And if you do want to follow me on Instagram for inspiring text posts, then my Instagram is @magnetizeyourself. You can also listen to my channeled music under my artist name, Songs by Infinity, and the link to my latest song is in the description box of the video. And of course, if you do want to use my quantum shift subliminal to completely shift your energy, your frequency, and help you to transform your life through the portal of your subconscious mind, the link to get my subliminals app is in the pinned comment and description box below. Subscribe if this connected for you. I would love to have you here on the channel. And otherwise, I will connect with you here again in the next video.